A discouraging display at Yankee Stadium has us concerned for the playoffs, but we've got to take care of business against the Montreal Impact on Sunday. How? We discuss next.
What's going on, Five Strap fam? I'm AJ, this is Mark. Before we get into it, become a member of the Notification Squad on YouTube by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button, or if you're on Facebook, hit that like and follow button. Welcome to a match preview special. First off, we'd like to thank our sponsor. This segment is sponsored by Mojitos Bistro. Mojitos at the Forum, where you can find a slice of Miami and Havana right here in Atlanta. They offer Cuban cuisine made with recipes from their mom's cookbook. For more on the awesomeness at Mojitos, check our description box below. So this Sunday at Saputo Stadium, it's against the Montreal Impact, a team that's kind of languishing in the depths of the East, for sure.
Yeah. Not gonna make the playoffs.
Not gonna make the playoffs, although, you know, they're maybe it's an outside chance, probably not though. They're languishing in ninth at the moment. And their form, they've been pretty woeful in their last 6. They've only won once. Yeah. Lost 3 times.
Right. Now that's an MLS.
4 times. Sorry.
Seriously. Well, that is an MLS play. They did win the Canadian Championship last night, so congrats to them. They're going to be in Champions League as a result.
Right. And full disclosure, we are filming this on a Thursday, so that's fantastic for them in terms of the feels and whatnot. Are they a team that maybe deserves it? That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I mean, how many teams, like big teams, compete in the Canadian Cup? 3? So.
Yeah, probably, and so that's where it's difficult. In terms of MLS teams, there's that many, right? There might be some other bigger sides, but that's still all in all, that team being in the Champions League, I shudder at their chances. But this preview is not about their chances in Champions League. It's about us playing them and how we can beat them. And so in our previous matchups against them, in 2017, we of course went up to Saputo Stadium and LGP drew that red card. Right. It was kind of probably unfairly drawn on him, actually. Yeah. It was actually rescinded quickly after that, but we lost 2-1 because of being down to 10 men. Yeah. But we handily beat them 2-0 at home in 2017. In 2018,
there was the Kevin Kratz brace and on the way to a 4-1 win. We did struggle in that match a bit, but we pulled it off 4-1. Went up there later in the season, won 2-0. So fast forward to 2019, we beat them earlier this season, and now we play them again. Yeah,
and so in terms of how Montreal Impact like to play, they are a team that's, they like to attack on the wings a good bit, attack from the right. They do come back from losing positions quite well, and so that is something that we have to be weary of is, if we do have a lead, to not just, be content with it and think that they will be fine and nothing will happen. But they are also pretty bad at keeping a lead when they do get that. And so, if we do get down, let's not compound it like we have recently.
Right. They're also bad at defending long shots. They're bad at avoiding individual errors, and they're bad at defending counterattacks. So I think these are all areas in which we can take advantage of them and create some chances.
Right. But there is a stat recently about a lead in which, or if we do concede, we're second worst in the league in kind of goals scored pretty much in coming back from those type of games.
Points earned from losing positions. Only 2 points earned from losing position all season.
Pretty awful, and so that's something we desperately need to work on. I mean, especially if we have a road playoff game, if we even can get past the first game.
And that's the other issue is the road. I mean, we've lost what is it now, 10, 12 matches, I believe, or 10 away from home, something like that. It's not good. Either way, and it's we're definitely not the team from last year.
Exactly, it's almost the kind of exact opposite as we won 10 games on the road last year, breaking an MLS record. So I mean, it's just kind of we've regressed to the mean probably in terms of MLS teams. It's very tough on MLS teams in general. So that's just something that we'll hopefully can rectify very quickly in the meantime. But in terms of their players to watch, their leading goal scorer is Safir Taider with 9 goals and 6 assists. They also have Orji Akwankwo that has 7 goals. He has 7 goals, no assists.
And they've also had Lassi Lapalainen with 5 goals. I hope I didn't butcher that name.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Boyan, who had a fairly successful, decent career in Europe with 1 goal so far. He's come in mid-season, but certainly a player to watch for them. Not to mention Ignacio Piatti. Now, he's had an off-season a bit, like only 3.
Very down.
Yeah, not very many goals or assists. But
3 goals, 1 assist only, yeah.
So
very strange.
But yeah, he's still, though, like very good player in this league for a long time, and maybe a dangerous one, especially if he lines up on Sunday.
Right, and a little bit Wantaway, I think he's been linked to other clubs as well, and as well as teams in Argentina. And so maybe that has a factor. Maybe he's a little bit unhappy. And he's a little bit up there in age as well. Right. So, but they still are pretty, well, I guess, stocked in attack, what I'm trying to say. But, so yeah, and in terms of their unavailable players, they have a defender, Daniel Kanumbe, who's out for the rest of the season. They have forward that's also out, Anthony Jackson Hamill, with a knee injury. And then midfielder Ken Krolicki has a hip injury that he's out as well. And so, yeah, I mean, they're not 100%, but it seems like their attack at least is 100%. Yeah. And so that's still probably a little frustrating for us. We'll have to face a pretty good attack, I would say. But
yeah. And then for us, Josef, of course, is questionable, unlikely to suit up for Montreal. We expect Ezekiel Barker to be available, maybe get some time in this game. Eric Rometty, Mo Adams are not available. They are suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Mo Adams, of course, he was acquired from Chicago, so some of those yellow cards were with them. And Breck Shea, of course, is out for the season.
But we're not going to just gloss over Josef Martinez. I mean, he was running on the kind of 0G, what do you call it?
The cryo thing? Is that it? Is that what
it's not even a cryo thing, but yeah. Anyway, it's basically weightless, so that there's as few weight as possible on his feet and legs when he's running, and so it's like a treadmill type of thing. And so it's fantastic to be able to see him up and moving around, especially how distraught he was, looking on the pitch, and he had to be stretchered off. This is very, very encouraging signs for sure. But I mean, it doesn't mean that he's quite ready for any action at all. Right. I think if we see him Sunday, it would be by some miracle.
If he's in the 18, I mean, my jaw will hit this table.
Yeah, he is literally a machine. He is just as durable as they come if he could do that. And really, he is pretty durable. He pretty much had played almost every single game that he could this season if he was allowed to, pretty much. Yeah. And so and playing a lot of minutes as well. So, but yeah, in terms of some of the match facts, I mean, there have been over 2.5 goals scored in 9 of Montreal's last 10 games, according to Who Scored.
They've also lost their last 3 matches, losing at halftime in said matches as well. So yeah, like we mentioned before, not on a great run of form. Yeah,
and so, in terms of our keys to the match then, I mean, we definitely have to bounce back from that NYC FC match. We have to defend our wings well, because that's where they like to attack. Yep. And so they like to attack on the right. We will have to make sure that Justin Miram and whomever plays left center back, if it's an LGP or if it's a Florentine Pogba, stays solid. Yep. And don't give away penalties and things like that.
But also in that regard, we have to attack from the wings. That's our strength. That's, I think, when we've been playing our best football is when the attacks come from the wing.
Yeah, we've been stretching defenses, and the wing play from Justin Miram, from Julian Gressel. That's really where we really I think kind of get the shape of the defense that we're playing against, and really just make it all over the shop. And so that's really where we can really be very dangerous.
And if we're able to disorganize that defense, definitely hit them on the counter. That's our bread and butter. That's something that they struggle with. So we should create more than a few chances, I think, through the counterattack.
Right. And so we definitely also need to get in that box and crash it, and use our height, because we have it. We actually have it this year. And so Miles Robinson has been.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So unlucky.
So many chances, and he pretty much gets ahead to it, but it just can't find the target.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where I think one of these days, and I think us needing goals, guys do need to step up and really be more clinical. Yep. But that gets us to our predicted starting 11 and who we think is going to start.
Yep.
So, as per usual, let's get in through the lines.
Yep.
Of
and
course.
So there's not a lot of controversy, at least between AJ and I with this one. We'll start, of course, in goal with Guzan. Not his best outing versus NYC. Hopefully he bounces back. He's still 2 back from the clean sheet record. Is that correct?
Right. And so, he's still got the possibility of at least tying that. So hopefully he does.
Hopefully.
In that 3-man back line, I think we all both have Escobar, Robinson, and LGP.
Yeah.
And so that means maybe our wingbacks return to normal.
Right, and we go back to a 3-5-2. Yep, and so our wingbacks in this one, Gressel and Miro. And for me, I'm looking for, I think, a big performance for them. Like we talked about, the wings are going to be important in this match. And I think the last few matches, we've been missing that impact from our wingbacks. And I think that's part of the reason why we're struggling.
Right.
And so, neither Miro nor Gressel started against New York. I expect them to come out and have a big impact in this one.
And Julian Gressel was injured or, at least sat out the NYCFC match. And so in terms of that, if he does return, then we see him sliding right back into the starting 11. If not, then we'll see the inverted wingbacks that we saw at the end of the match against NYCFC.
That was fun.
Dion Pereira will kind of come in. If not, I think that still keeping with the familiarity of a 3-5-2 is still probably paramount. Because you saw maybe how disorganized it was a little bit when we kind of had a little bit of confusion of who was doing what against NYCFC. But getting into the midfield, what do we got?
We've got Larry and we've got Nagby. We've been wanting Larry to start, and I mean he's kind of forced into the lineup in this one because of the suspensions. But I think I think he's a good shout regardless. He's that holding midfielder that we believe that this team needs right now. And of course Nagby, he can't sit.
Yeah, I mean the steadying presence of a Larry, and then of course running the game through Donington Nagby, that's the way we should and have to do it.
Yeah.
And then, I think at the 10 position, it's been Emerson Hyman.
Yep.
And I think should be, again, Emerson Hyman.
Yeah.
Even though Ezekiel Barco could play a part, maybe get a run out later in the match, but I don't see him starting.
Yeah, that's just more of a match fitness thing, I think, in terms of who gets to start later on. We'll see, but for us it's Hyman in this one makes most sense.
Right. Yeah, and in terms of our forwards, it's got to be PT and Vasquez.
Yeah.
Because I think Vasquez actually had a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Won that penalty, had a few shots. They were a little bit off target, but he was working hard all night, making the runs that we wanted him to make.
I think you saw some chemistry between PD and Vasquez as well. I think that's very encouraging. And as for Tito, I mean, yes, he misses out. He was potentially misused in the last match, but I think also you see why it's hard for him to get into the lineup. It's also, he is also still sort of struggling with injuries, so maybe he's super sub, maybe comes on 20 minutes. Runs the defense, creates some chances, but don't see him getting the start in this one.
Yeah, because he's also admitted that he doesn't feel 100%, and on his knee it's been a bit of an issue. So it's hard for me to see him kind of in 3 days' time, get another run out and start and potentially have to play the whole match. That's just a risk that you probably don't want to take with a Tito, because you still, I think, can see a Tito play a large part for the rest of the season. It's just a matter of, maybe it's a little bit more of a bit part. Of course, though, we'd love to see him play as much as possible. I just don't think right now is the possible time for him. Yeah. But let's get into our score prediction of what we think is going to happen.
Yeah, so you know what, we've been struggling for the last few weeks, no question. Montreal, they're at home, they're coming off a big win. I think it's gonna be a fun one. See lots of goals in this one. I think it's 3-2 to the Five Stripes. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a little unpredictable. I think especially with Wilmer Cabrera, he was manager of Houston, I believe, when Houston put 4.
Yeah.
And he's already seen this season with Houston. Now he's managing Montreal. Maybe he has something up his sleeve.
It's true. Yeah. It's one of those tricky things for sure. But I think it's also the Houston Dynamo. They are like epic at home. but I don't know if Montreal are really quite in that territory. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, he was brought in and then they kind of started slipping. And, you know, it was very strange. Remy Gard, former Arsenal player, I mean, was just unceremoniously booted out the door for Wilmer Cabrera.
After they were supposedly close to extending him.
Yeah, and so very bizarre all around. So hopefully there is still chaos. For me, I think it's a 2-1 win. It's kind of been the most of the results in terms of how close it's been against with us and them. So it's been strange, especially on the road. I just don't see us scoring that many goals, and so at least I think we get the 3 points, and you know, we are on our merry way, and are in the 3 points column and in the right direction. Yep. But guys, let us know what your score predictions are in the comments below. And that's it for our match preview. And so remember to subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and like it. And for Mark, I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching.